Together with American songwriter, we had the chance to talk to Bren Joy.
Adam was able to talk to Bren over the phone. Check out his new song, Freezing.
Make sure to check us out on YouTube and Facebook at Bringing It Backwards and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Bringing Back Pod.
We'd appreciate your support if you follow and subscribe to our podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts.
We're Bringing It Backwards with Bren Joy.
There we go.
Hey, Bren, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks for talking with me this afternoon. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Our podcast is about your journey in the music industry and how you got to where you are today.
Dope. I'm excited.
Cool, man. Cool. So, did you grow up in? I read that you were from Nashville. Did you grow up there? Were you born and raised there?
I was born and raised there. It feels like I still live here, but yeah, I feel like the only person that lives here that's born and raised here. But yeah, I grew up here. Most of my family is from here as well, so we're natives for sure.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, I live in San Diego. I was born and raised in San Diego. Not many people are from here either. It's like Nashville or LA. Those are all kind of like transplant cities. So that's cool that you were born and raised there.
Yeah, I went to California for the first time like last year and just fell in love.
Oh yeah,
so I love that.
That's awesome. So how did you get into music originally, Bren? Were your parents musical?
No, it's a weird transition. No one in my family is really musical at all. Both my parents are like financial analysts and stuff, and so I kind of went through high school and I did a little bit of music, but like for the most part, I just wasn't too into it, you know? And then senior year came, I kind of just really had music as like it was like a crutch, you know? Like it was something that I was like, okay, it's a cool hobby, but I'm not sure if I want to major in it. And I don't know, something just clicked and I ended up auditioning because I was a vocal major in college. And, I ended up auditioning just on a whim, and I got in, and everything worked out. So that's kind of like how I got initially like into music. It's been very recently.
Wow.
Which I feel like is cool on my end because I'm like discovering new genres and styles and stuff that people grew up on. Like I'm just now catching up. So I have a lot of influence currently, but yeah, that's kind of like how I got into it.
Wow. Who have you been discovering lately? Like you said that you haven't been, like you're just now discovering people.
Different people. I've been like dying on the Beach Boys lately. Like,
oh, cool.
I think there's a big Beatles Beach Boys debacle, but I don't know. I just have been completely obsessed and captivated by the Beach Boys and just rating their discography. And a good time in quarantine right now is just to go. I just have time now to play through vinyls and stuff. So I've been playing a lot of Beach Boys stuff top to bottom, and it's been incredible. So,
that's cool.
So that's like a new thing that I'm just now getting caught up on.
Nice. That's rad. That's awesome. You're a piano player, correct?
I play to write. Yeah.
Okay. So when did you learn piano?
Everything I usually write it at the piano.
When did you pick that up?
I learned piano in college, so we're required as vocal majors to take like a instrument course. So I learned piano at the same time as I started learning singing. So they kind of came side by side, which is hard, but it's really sick though, really sick.
Wow. So you like truly didn't start music really until you were in college.
Yeah.
Oh
This is all like new. My first solo I kind of like fully sang was my audition for Belmont. So
well,
it's all brand new to me.
Well, you must obviously knew that you had a great voice. Like, did you? I mean, how do you just? You're just like, you know what? I'm gonna audition.
No. Trust me, no. Literally, I do these things where I'm so spontaneous, and I knew in high school I knew I had a decent voice, So I was like, okay, like this could work. And I had no intentions of making my own music when I auditioned to go in school. Like it was just more of like, I hate everything but this.
Sure.
Or this is like, so that's why I was like, all right, like I guess, which I think is super important if like high schoolers going into college, like you're supposed to, I think the smartest move is to major in something you don't hate. Because like people usually do it based off of salaries and stuff, and
Right. Yeah, job availability.
music is, but music was the only thing that kind of just slightly made me enthusiastic. So so I went for it.
Wow. You said that the first time you really sang in front of people was at the audition to get into the college?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I sang Jasmine Sullivan and God Bless the Broken Road. This is just the first two songs that popped up on this little karaoke app I had, and I was like, all right, cool, let's do it.
Oh, wow. That's how you decided on the
crazy
songs. That's funny. So
but fun though.
Yeah. So you just started like, I mean, your debut EP kind of or the 20s came out last year. So when did you start writing songs? Like you said this is all really new. Like what was the first song you wrote?
I got in college, and around junior year, I turned 23 earlier this year and kind of finished college, but around junior year, I just like started hating singing, and I was like, I hate this. I'm bored. Like I'm tired of covers. And one of my professors was like, okay, why don't you like sing your own stuff? And I was like, damn, all right, chill idea. So I sat at the piano, and the first 8 songs I wrote are all on that EP.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't. Drag Race was the first one I wrote though, and that was like March of 2018, I think. And after that, about a week later, I wrote Henny and the Hamptons, kind of in like the practice rooms we had, like at the piano. And from there, over the course of that whole year, from March 2018 to 2019, I wrote those 8 songs, and they're all on the project.
Wow. Where did you record those songs at?
A homie's place. My homie Caleb Lee, he worked on the project with me, and kind of just we were both just learning as we go. And I have a bunch of friends that are incredible musicians or incredible singers, and vice versa. And so we all just did it in his little apartment. We had to stop recording every day, like at 9 p.m. because like, people just got mad because I'm like screaming in the apartment. But it was fun though. Like I feel like that's how music should be. Is it shouldn't, like, it's really cool now, being in these incredible studios with these incredible mics and stuff. But I definitely, am my happiest just doing it with homies, like, just for the fun of it, not for any expectation.
That's crazy though. The first 8 songs you wrote, you put every one of them on your EP. That's so awesome. Are you a
Very bold?
Yeah. Are you a fan of Are you a Bulls fan? I know you. I was listening to Scottie Pippen. I said, are you a Bulls fan?
Of course. Of course. Bulls fan, Cowboys fan, all of it.
Right on.
different parts of the country, but yeah, I have this weird fascination with just the most random teams, but Bulls are definitely on there for sure.
Yeah, man, 90s Bulls. What a
legend,
team.
Legend.
Yeah. It's funny. I just started getting into playing 2K20 with my son on his Xbox, and you can be like the 90. You could be like the 95, 96 Bulls and just destroy people. It's just funny. You could be Jordan just raining threes like all day. But yeah, that's cool, man.
So great.
So you put out 20s. You had a massive hit with Henny and the Hamptons. How did that happen for you?
I don't know. Whenever people ask me like, yo, B, what's the secret, or what, like, how did this happen? Right. I genuinely have zero idea. Like, I released the music through DistroKid, and it just popped off. And there was some very sweet Spotify curators. Spotify is amazing, and that really gave me the platform. And when I released the project, like 3 days after, I was the cover of Fresh Finds, and just different, like, just crazy. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to know, though. That's the thing. Like, I like just, just figuring it out on my own, slowly but surely.
Sure.
But with Henny, I don't know. I just felt compelled to. I always have this love for, like, I grew up in like 80s and 90s R&B and gospel, and so like the Kirk Franklins, the Kirk Whalums, the even like 2000s, the Marios, a lot of early Kanye, T-Pain, Jonta, like those are all people that I really, really look up to. So I knew with Henny, I just wanted to try to like blend as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, that 20s record is most of it's pretty slow and pretty like laid back. And then, Henny and the Hamptons is a little bit more upbeat.
It's probably the only one on there that's a little upbeat. A lot of it's just a lot of slower. You can tell I'm highly influenced by John Legend.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
But that feel is just what I love. And, but it's cool now because like this new music, like I'm making, there's so many layers that I want to attack in my music, and I'm really excited to just kind of like keep pushing boundaries and keep people expecting the unexpected. I think that's some traits that some of my favorite artists contain. Yeah,
I love that. Well, I was gonna say, because we'll get to it, but your new song "Freezing," that one's pretty upbeat, and it's got like the like more of the pop hook to it. Is that kind of it? I'll talk to you about that in a second. I want to know how you got hooked up with Warner Records.
So throughout last year, I kind of was bombarded by a bunch of people, which is really cool. But I think like I, through everything, want to put my trust in my music into a label that's hungry and that's new and that wants it. And, a lot of the upper ranked people at Warner, are new, and they came from incredible positions, and they all kind of have joined and linked at Warner, to kind of create, bring back what Warner used to represent and still does. But really like drive home that Warner Brothers experience. And that's something I just want to be a part of. I like being a part of people that are making something great versus, people that are sitting at the top concept. I don't know. It's a weird balance I like, but I just like the energy Warner gave me, and just how willing they are to let me just be an artist and kind of be this weird anomaly in R&B. Like, I think it's something I really hold special. So, that's why I chose Warner.
Were like a lot of labels after the success of Henny and the Hamptons, like with all the plays and stuff, everybody was calling you up?
Yeah. I think a lot of people, my live show is a big part of who I am, and live shows are my heart and soul. Like, I grew up on looking at people just sing their asses off and all this stuff, and that's what I want to do. Like, I look up to the Neos and the Chris Browns of 2007s and stuff, where just the performances were like pyramid formations. They were all, crazy stuff. But like Chris Brown would have like 40 dancers on the stage. But like, that's what I miss in music. And I think when I had my live show, I played Exit In Here, which was my first kind of live show, and they kind of denied me the booking the venue. And I hooked up with Julie Greenberg, who works on my booking side now, but I wasn't with CAA at the point, and she was like, yo, like, I got you. I'm going to do you a favor. I'll book you the room. Like, and from there, like, we sold it out. Which was my very first show, which is crazy. I mean, I think it was 500 cap, I think, something like that. And we sold it out. And,
Jeez.
so I had a lot of the labels fly down from, like, I was like, this is so many people. If you're about me, just fly down,
Right. Yeah. I'm doing
and I
this
think
thing.
it's important for, like, yeah, I think, like, a lot of, and I'm around, like, all my best friends are the best singers I've ever heard in my life, like, celebrity or not, like, the best singers. They're all, like, bro, they're absolutely insane. And I think it's important for, like, a lot of artists that are budding here in Nashville and anywhere to realize that as an unsigned artist, you're the boss, you're the CEO, you maintain so much power. And I think there's a lot of artists getting manipulated, and that was something that I didn't want to do. And so from the jump, I was like, look, okay, if you're about me, a plane ticket is, which sounds crazy saying it out loud, but, like, I think that's just the mentality that I had to have when I was just like, yo, I just need to know y'all are about me. So, like, if you're willing to come to my show, like, I will really appreciate it. And a lot of people showed up. And we did the same for New York and LA, and LA was insane. We sold that out. We played the Echo, which was really incredible. And
that's a cool venue. I've been there before.
Yeah, it was just special. I don't know. So that's kind of how I deciphered through a lot of, but I still maintain a lot of, like, incredible contacts, a lot of incredible managers.
Mm-hmm.
So fingers crossed for future work.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's awesome that you knew your worth. You're like, I've got a hit EP out. I've got a song that's doing awesome. The labels can come to me. I'm playing the show. If you want to sign me, you can come check out what I'm all about. That's a mindset I've never heard before. That's so rad.
Yeah, and like, I think there's a fine line between that and, like, narcissism, but I think,
sure,
15,000 streams or 15,000 streams or 15 million streams. Like, I think it's important for people to realize that anyone that does this, like, there's no plan B. Like, it's especially majoring it in college, like, it's either this or nothing. So it's important for everyone to feel like, I am, the next legend. Like, I think that confidence is incredibly important, especially coming down to your business, because if you get screwed over, then there's no going back.
Right. That's a good point. And you had, like I said, you knew that you put out something independently. You put that record out by yourself, and it did amazing. So you kind of had the leverage there as well, where it's like, well, what are you gonna offer? What are you gonna continue to offer me when I've already been able to achieve this success? Yeah, on my own.
Yeah,
that's cool. So you signed to Warner.
Cool. It was cool.
And that was your first live show ever? Was like that showcase you put together?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I did a few things, like, at school and stuff, but my first, like, full, like, hour long live show,
wow.
is my first one.
And did you said that you were influenced by, like, Chris Brown and stuff. Did you have a team of dancers? Did you have, like, a whole choreographed show together?
No, I did it. So I am incredibly influenced by R&B and stuff like that, and I think the Stevie, a lot of the 90s, 80s, 70s, like the Stevies, the cameos, the Luther Vandrosses, the stuff like that, I'm incredibly inspired by. And so for my band, like, I just always looked up to really big bands. So I had a 11-piece band, I think, on stage, which is crazy. So I had, like, 3 horns, 2 keys, bass kit, 3 VGVs, like that, the whole shebang. But that's, like, what I love. I was like, yo, if we're selling out this show, like, I want to make it worthwhile for people. And I, for a solid hour, I want to give you just straight vocals and, harmonies and runs and stuff. Like, I vocal produce everything I do, and all the choirs on Twenties are on me, and all the, all of that is on me. And so I really like to bring that to life in live shows. So no dances, but only because we had 0 room. Like
Right.
zero room on that stage. It
That's
was fun
cool.
though. It was fun.
Yeah, totally. So you get signed to Warner. You got a new track out now called Freezing, which we were talking about is a little bit more upbeat. Tell me more about the song. I love the animated music video you made as well. I think it's so rad and well put together.
Thank you. I wrote the song a year ago.
Oh wow.
It's the first song I wrote after Twenties. And it was with Jamie Moore, who was at a Big Loud here in Nashville. And we both really shared the love of just, old R&B, old gospel. So, like, that was something that I just wanted to, like, take that sound and really kind of flip it on its head and make it kind of new and weird and quirky and interesting. And so that song came through, and I think it was the first one I wanted to release because it just the message of it is the same as Henny and the Hamptons. It's all about just taking a leap of faith. And my music, a lot of it is like more is more. Like it's on the brink of like, is this too much? Like, but I think that's so cool, and I think there's incredible artists out right now that do that I really, really appreciate it. So for Freezing, like I just wanted to bring this. I don't know. I wanted to bring this character out. I write stories. I'm like a story-based writer.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of my stuff is based off of like characters that are in my head. I was gonna say I'm not crazy, but I am slightly crazy. But like I have these like characters in my head that I just love to play. And so a lot of the songs, even after Freezing, like a lot of my music none of my music sounds pretty much the same. Like all of it, especially this new stuff, are just completely different vibes. But again, I'm a character-based writer, so I like just really tapping into the idea of not being like, I guess there's this weird idea of like not being consistent creates consistency. Like I get that doesn't make sense, but I think there's incredible art. Like you have someone like Doja Cat or Gaga or even Beyonce. Like people like that are just not consistent at all with their sounds. They switch up all the time, but I think that's what makes it so cool and so fresh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And do you feel like the other songs are pretty, like, are they upbeat like Freezing, or are they everything's just totally completely different?
I don't want to give away too much. Yes and no.
Okay.
There's some crazy, and I think part of it is because I've had the wonderful opportunities, I was in LA for a solid like 2 months earlier this year, and I wrote with incredible producers and stuff. I'm signed with Warner Chappell, and so I was in Vegas writing with, like producers I look up to. I'm like in the rooms with, and I want writing to be a part of my career, just as much, if not even more than my artist career. And so working with all these different artists and different people, like the vibes are different in Nashville versus LA. It's just different types of writing, different styles. And so it's kind of, it's kind of unpredictable, but
Sure.
I think that's what makes it really cool.
Awesome. And is it is Freezing gonna be part of it? Is it an EP or album?
I don't want to. It's a part of a project, yes.
Okay.
I don't. That's the thing, is that I think I switch up so much. Like again with Twenties, like it was supposed to be a 4-song EP, and we had a different cover art, different name. It wasn't even named Twenties. And a month before it was supposed to release, I went to Caleb and I was like, yo, I think this should be 8 songs. And I think we should call it 20. And I want to base it off of this old ass yearbook that I found on the side of the road. And so,
you found that on the side of the road?
So I found it on the side of the road, and then like I paid it no mind. I was like, okay, cool. I took a picture of it because I always take pictures of just weird stuff on the road. And I saw a Brady Bunch like ad in this weird magazine that my friend had, and from there, that's where the kind of like new artwork was created and stuff. So all of that, pretty much the whole project came together within like a month. So like Sweet, Upper East Side, Drag Race, like all of those songs came together between like March and April of 2019.
Wow.
Which is crazy, but
yeah. Whoa.
So with this new stuff, I don't know. You know, I'm always like I'm like learning as I go, and I'm appreciative that people listening are very patient with me and where my mind is kind of going, and I'm learning who and what I want to represent, because again, I didn't, start doing this until like a few years ago. So
right.
I'm just slowly learning, and I'm working on a new project, but again, I don't want to give too much because I'm not too certain.
For sure. Well, thank you, Bren, so much for chatting with me today. I really appreciate it. My last question for you.
I appreciate it so much.
I have one more question. It's just I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
I love that question. Advice. Always create. Build your circle. And I think the best piece of advice I always give is to like really push yourself and push your education in music. And I think, I in college had the beauty of learning theory and how music actually works. And that is the biggest tool, because you always are able, to stay on top. You have someone like Ty Dolla $ign, who is an incredible bassist.
Mm-hmm.
Someone like T-Pain, who's an incredible, vocal arranger and just musician. And I just think I don't know, that's between that and just always listen to new music. Those are my biggest two pieces of advice, because that's all I was able to do. Is I was like, I have my inspirations and I have my my idea of music theory, and that's what I use to my advantage, and I still do with ever-changing sounds and stuff. So to any new artists, just push and always top yourself. That's all I got.
I love that. Thank you, Bren.
I need advice.